this has always been a place where God has spoke to me, because in life there are so many things that we don't understand. You know, we ask so many questions at times, like, why did this happen to me? In my life, I look at a lot of the hard things I've gone through, like, you know, why did my dad get cancer? Why did he die? Why does this happen? Why does this happen? Why does this happen? Why did I have to go through this thing that was so hard? And it seems like this has been the place that God has really answered a lot of those questions for me. You know, in this shaping bay, when I make surfboards, I do certain things to a surfboard so that I can give it purpose. You know, the process creates the purpose. And I think that's true for all of us, you know, because those things that we ask questions about are usually things that have been abrasive in our lives. But if you look around this shaping bay, there are so many things that are abrasive. Everything in this shaping bay is meant to rip, it's meant to tear, it's meant to do all those things. But with the end goal of making something smooth. And I look at that and I look at my life and all those things that did seem abrasive, all those things that did seem hard, did seem tough. Later on, I started to see that they were for a purpose. They were, at times, some hard things happened to me so I could help others with them. At times, some hard things happened to me so I could gain understanding for a future situation. You know, I've just seen that, you know, he has had a purpose for my life. And one of the interesting things is, as a shaper, I sit here and, especially like say with this board, I made this for myself. And so when I made it for myself, I put little tiny things into this board to make it work. And this board is different than any other board I've ever made. And that reminds me of us. I've never met someone who is just like someone else. There's always little tiny things about that person that make them great. There's little tiny things about that person that allow them to do a certain thing. And you know, that's the same thing that me, as someone who's creating a surfboard, I try to do. I try to put little tiny things into a surfboard to give it purpose, to make it great at something, to make it do something. And one of the fun things is when you make a surfboard for yourself, there's nothing that gives me more pleasure than when the thing I create is doing what I created it to do. Because I have created this surfboard to do something that I have never created a surfboard to do before. And I feel like that's the same with us. Is we have been created to do something that only we can do. You were created to do something specifically that only you could do. And how did God get you to that place? Maybe you had to go through something hard to get there. But please understand that there was a process that you had to go through to create purpose. You know, if I never did anything abrasive to this surfboard, it would have no function. It wouldn't be able to work. And I think that's the same for us. So when I look around this room and when I'm in here, I understand that all the things, even the things that I've thought have been hard in my life, and even the good things, were meant to give me purpose. You know, in the Bible, there's this verse, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." And guys, I feel like the best way to know our hope, the best way to have a future, the best way to know our plans is to go to the one that created us. You know, there's nobody who knows this better than me. and there's nobody who knows me better than